Hello everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome to Spring Breeze, the remake of Kirby's Dreamland, available inside of Kirby Superstar and later on Kirby Superstar Ultra. In Kirby Superstar Ultra, we get this new cutscene added in, explaining that, King Dedede's being a dick. He's stolen all the food in Dreamland for some odd reason, and it's up to our hero, Kirby, to save the day. This is pretty much exactly the same as Kirby's Dreamland, but there are a few changes here and there. So, first off, they ask you if you want a tutorial, but we're not going to go through that. So, let's go through Greens first. As you can tell, this is a lot shorter than the last, episode of Kirby's Dreamland, and that is because Kirby's Dreamland is honestly harder than this version. As you can see, we have our copy abilities once again, such as Beam, which I just ended up picking up, and I love Beam. Beam's fun. As a result, because of the copy abilities, this makes Kirby's Dreamland, or Spring Breeze in this case, a literal breeze to go through. It's extremely easy and extremely fast. At the same time, one world was actually entirely cut out, and that is Castle Lololo. Castle Lololo has been completely cut out because some things were changed in the Superstar Ultra version of the game, as well as I believe Superstar, the Castle Lololo was also cut down. So now we're using Bomb, which is always fun to do. So let's literally drop the bomb and throw bombs at some giant panda bears. Why not? Honestly, I love the color palette that's used for this because the engine that they're using for Spring Breeze is pretty much the same one that they use for Superstar Ultra, Mass Attack, and all of them. And Kirby games in their own, they just look gorgeous compared to, the rest of the things in their generation. And that's usually because Kirby games are usually made near the tail end of a generation for a console. But I think it's time we take on our first boss after bombing all these walls, and that is Wispy Woods yet again. So, landed on top of the tree this time. Sorry, Wispy. So, let us throw the bombs at him. Pretty much, you could use the apple trick, but honestly, just use bombs. You have your copy abilities, so just use them. Of course, I am not too used to bomb. I normally have beam for this fight, so I ended up getting hit a little bit twice. Another difference you might notice is that we don't have, a regular 6 hits and we're dead. We just have our standard health bar, which I actually prefer. Even better, Kirby now can dance without the need of using his falling animations. So, now on to stage 2, Float Island, which is what combined in with Castle Lololo in general. So, as a result, we no longer have to fight Kabula. Instead, we're going to be fighting Lololo and Lalala at the end of this one. But the current... I can't seem to talk right now. The current ability we have is Fighter, which is always a fun ability for me to use. I love Fighter so much. Personally, I like Suplex a little bit more, but Suplex can be a little bit hard to use at times depending on the right enemy. Plus, I don't think there's actually a single enemy inside Kirby's Spring Breeze, as I will now effectively call it, that will actually give you it. Anyway, let us go out. We ended up losing our ability, unfortunately, but I was going to be dropping it anyway for the ability right here, which is our Freeze ability, or Ice. I love Ice Kirby. Ice Kirby is really cool because he can end up actually skating when you dash, which is another thing that was added in for this version of the game. It was Kirby's ability to run, as Kirby did not have the ability to run inside of Kirby's Dreamland. So as you can see, it's just an all-around remake that's really nice. And again, this is available inside of Kirby Superstar. Superstar Ultra just adds in a few other things and a few other quirks. Mainly the sound being, in my opinion, a little bit better than the original version of the game, which is very, very interesting. But, suck this up right here, and we get Crash, which is utterly broken because of what I'm going to be doing to Lololo and Lalala. So, go through the boss door, wait for them both to be on the screen, use our Crash ability, and it instantly kills Lololo and Lalala. That's ridiculous. But then again, this is known as Spring Breeze, which is ultimately just very easy. It's It's very sad when the game that's meant to get kids into video games is harder than the remake of that game in general. Now, some are probably wondering, when am I going to get to Kirby Superstar Ultra? That's not going to be for a while, obviously. I still need to do things like Kirby's Adventure and Kirby's Dreamland 2. And look, we got Scarfies. Scarfies are back, and they're just as annoying. And I'm trying to hit them with my sword. Oh, I pissed them off. No. Stop. Go away. All of you. Fine. No. No, give me... Fine. I didn't want that sword power anyway. I just want my food. And that's another thing that was added in as well. Enemies now drop food, so you can heal yourself a lot easier. So, yeah, this is really, you know, an easy way to introduce people into video games. Have them go nuts with Kirby. Again, it just feels odd that this game is easier than the original Kirby's Dreamland. I didn't think that was possible. But here we have Kracko Jr. again, which I don't do too well against. I get hit by him a lot because I'm normally not using Cutter against him. I'm normally using Beam. That's something I notice in this run a lot. Because I run this game more than I do Kirby's Dreamland, just because if I ever want to relax and just go through something extremely easy, I'll just put in Superstar Ultra, play through some of the modes from there, then just have fun. And Spring Breeze is usually the one that I love to do the most. Right, and one more hit, and Kracko should be done. So let's get my beam back, because I do better with that. And as you can see, I'm almost dead right now, hence why it went a little beat, which is another thing that they added in. So, take the Warp Star up. Now, one thing that they actually took out from this is the super spicy curry. If you remember, we had that beforehand. So, now that we don't have that, it's not really necessary. But let's grab that life right there. And I'm almost dead, but luckily there is some food nearby, and I know where it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just avoid these flowers. Kill this guy right here. Fall right down here, there's a Maxim tomato. But you have to quickly go up because the floor will not last. And of course, enemies respawn. So, go through the door. And we're just about done with bubbly clouds. Yeah, pretty fast. But something's different. Before you get to the moon, you must dodge the giant flying bear. At the same time, food is everywhere around inside here, so it kind of blends in with the background. That's downside to this, I will say, is that it blends in with the background. Right, so grab that. And here we have another boss right here, mid-boss, Bonkers. I love Bonkers because he gives me the hammer. And the hammer ability is broken beyond all belief. And again, a lot of Kirby abilities can be broken beyond belief if you know how to use them. So, let's kill Bonkers, get ourselves hammer, and then we're gonna head off to Mount Dedede, actually. Well, we have to beat Kracko first. Which shouldn't be too hard with our newly acquired hammer, which did that much damage when fully charged up. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Oh, just barely whiffed. Now just hold still, Kracko. You can go right below me, Kracko. Fine, I'll just end up hitting you otherwise. All right, let's get our hammer back first. And, ooh, cappuccino. I didn't know that Kirby drank coffee. But, let's finish off Kracko, shall we? And there we go. That beats Kracko. And that was a good timing on my part. That actually looked pretty cool. Yay! And now on to the final stage, Mount Dedede, which had a change. You don't have to go through a boss rush to fight Dedede anymore. You just go straight and fight the king himself, who is rather pathetic inside this one, especially because I have Hammer. And Hammer makes him so pathetic. So, let's take on King Dedede with our hammer. My hammer's better than your hammer, my hammer's better than your hammer. And boom. There you go. That takes care of Spring Breeze. Yay! there we go. That takes care of it. The ending the same, only this time with a nice little cutscene. As all the food is restored and given back to the denizens of Dreamland. And there you go. That takes care of Spring Breeze, and as a result, I'm now going to be closing off on the first game of the Summer of Bits, Kirby's Dreamland. Overall, they're both fun games. I honestly think that the one to get kids into games more that's easier is Spring Breeze, quite obviously. But Kirby's Dreamland is still a fine game to play, and it has an extra mode for you to play if you want to do things a little bit more difficult, have to deal with things that are a little bit more difficult than normal. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end it off right here. SuperNoxus1359, and I'll see you guys for our next game in the Summer of Bits, Kirby's Adventure. Hey, just because, you know, Kirby was originally supposed to be the only star of this one, doesn't mean that I'm not going to be doing more Kirby games. See you guys next time.